think a lot of students have just gotten another sense of how to belong and how to create relationships outside of what were the traditional avenues.
And a lot of my students talk about how they feel safe in the esports program, and that's their family, that's their community. And I think that esports gives kids a future that they might otherwise not have.
Man, I wish that had been available when I was in high school.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mississippi Esports Finals. My name is Perino. I am joined by my co-host, Audio. Audio, we have a great Rocket League series to bring to everyone this evening.
Absolutely, we do. Rocket League coming at you with the finals between Ocean Springs and Pearl High School. These two teams have been completely dominant throughout the entire season, and now we get to see a massive clash of titans on the field.
Absolutely. Let me show you guys the brackets really quick. We're going to see which teams made the cut. As we can see on the upper half, Greyhounds got past Empire. They are joining us on the final stage today. And from the lower half, Team Alpha was able to get past the Rockachaw Claws. They will be our other finalists this evening.
And the winner of this game is going to go on to be the champion of the MHSAA. This is a really big game for both of these teams, the Greyhounds and Pearl Harbor Team Alpha. Because remember, I mean, like we said, they've been so dominant throughout the season. There really looks like there hasn't been any competition for either of these two squads until now. Like, this is where, coming down to brass tacks, you are going to prove who is the best Rocket League player tonight.
Absolutely. Again, the Greyhounds coming in with a 22-2 record versus Team Alpha's 19-5 record in their regular season games. Again, two excellent squads. We're so excited to have them here. As you said, this is definitely the match of the season. It is for all the marbles. The winner will be crowned state champion.
And thank you so much to PlayVS for putting on this event, along with the Mississippi High School Athletics Association, for really giving an opportunity to these players. For those of you who don't know, PlayVS is out there doing amazing things in the high school world for esports. They're creating competitive leagues for high school students to play in games like Rocket League, Fortnite, which they just added today, League of Legends, and Smite. And they've created what is another high school sport. I mean, this is on par with basketball, baseball, all of that stuff. There's even college scholarships out there for these kids now.
Absolutely, and again, it's so instrumental to have players competing, for their school. It's for the, it's officially recognized. Again, this is our second season here at the MHSAA. Let's take a quick look, though, at our players. Again, we're going to start with Ocean Springs High School. We have Davis, Kyle, and Ethan. And let me tell you what, I love the answer for the favorite game.
Absolutely.
Kyle, CSGO, great choice, have to say.
Love this little graphic we've got here. We got to talk to all the players, really get to know them, what their favorite game was, their movie, who they thought was their biggest fan. It's really great to just get an inside look behind behind the screen and really get to look at the players. So Davis H there, favorite game, Persona 5. I got to agree for so many reasons. That's one of my best games of the last decade.
For me personally, I'm always a multiplayer competitive guy. CSGO, again, if you're not playing Rocket League, we do have to specify here that we asked outside of Rocket League what your favorite game was.
Absolutely.
I think CSGO is obviously a great choice. Rainbow Six as well, and shout out to Minecraft as well. Another great choice there from Ethan.
Ethan M. Brad choosing two games. I feel like that's cheating. Rainbow Six and Minecraft. Maybe he just couldn't choose which one was actually his favorite. And then we see some amazing movies too. Avengers, Endgame, Jumanji. I actually love the throwback to Jumanji. That was one of my favorite movies. And the older version, not the new one with The Rock. I haven't actually seen that one. I'm sure it's fine. But just the nostalgia of the original Jumanji is just so much.
I think you can't really go wrong with the Avengers either. I mean, I'm going to throw it out there to Marvel. They do a great job. And the other answer I really love, too, from this questionnaire that we have here, who's your biggest fan? You know what Ethan said? He said, my teammates. That is an awesome attitude to have. I love that. Your biggest fans should be your teammates, 100%. They have to have your back, and they have to have your back in a high-pressure situation like this.
And also, David H. giving it to his parents. I mean,
Of course.
that just warms the heart. Your parents really supporting you, and it's something that's so important, for these high schoolers in this, this new sport that has been rising up and trying to rival the likes of football, baseball, that kind of stuff. And esports is really something that a lot of kids who wouldn't have normally gotten involved in athletics, they've now found their group, their niche in high school. And so I think it's really awesome that these kids are able to get invested in a scene that they're passionate about, that they can grow into, because it's really starting to have a big future, and it's something that they can continue after high school.
Absolutely. And again, we've even, mentioned a little bit, there are even opportunities at the collegiate level. So should they choose to pursue higher education, there are even opportunities there as well. But guys, we're going to hop over and check out the player profiles from Pearl High School. We have Ian, Connor, and Hunter. They are, again, great players, and they gave us some great answers. Another shout out to Rainbow Six Siege. I have to say, I haven't played Rainbow that much, but it is a great title.
Popular game. That one very competitive, is another big esports on the market. We see Connor loves playing RPGs like Skyrim and any Final Fantasies, along with Fallout. Hunter B likes playing Dark Souls. It's fun with friends. Very difficult game. I have a lot of respect for players that play Dark Souls. Favorite movies, we see Fox and the Hound, The Passion, Boondock Saints, a lot of older ones, blast to the past. And biggest fans, for Ian, it's his brother.
Of course.
That's awesome. Love seeing that. Connor, it is his mother. She supports him in everything he does. That is amazing. And for Hunter, it's his friends. They love to watch him play. Let's hope they're tuning in tonight as well, as he is going to be going against Ocean Springs in this championship.
Absolutely. And again, I love this competition, and I love seeing, all the players get to this point. It's such a grind and it's such a battle. Rocket League is an easy game to play, but it is a difficult game to master. There are so many unique skill sets and unique traits and characteristics of this game. People spend thousands and thousands and thousands of hours trying to perfect this craft. And I'm so excited to see the effort and dedication these players have put in to get to this point.
So for those of them that may be watching and not know exactly what Rocket League is, it is very simple on the surface, as you said, but give us a breakdown. What is Rocket League?
Right. Well, so the obvious answer, right, is soccer with cars. And,
that sounds awesome.
And Rocket Boost, which it is
that sounds
awesome.
awesomer.
It is awesome. But again, so it's a 3v3 competitive title. They're 5-minute games. Players obviously are just trying to score. Most goals wins. You can have overtime as well, so there are no ties in Rocket League. Any game that is tied at the end of the 5-minute regulation goes to an overtime, where it's just sudden death. First goal wins. And, this series in particular will be a best of 7, so the first team to win 4 games will take the title of the Mississippi State champion.
And how do you win a specific game?
So a specific game is simply most goals scored. You got to outscore your opponent.
Outscore. It's as simple as that. Do they have to worry about any sort of penalties or any fouls that they may have to watch out? Any extra rules during the game?
Nope, it's pretty straightforward. The only mechanic really that you have to watch out for are demolitions. So if an enemy player is in your way, you can simply use your rocket boost and you can remove them from your path with a demolition. Other than that, anything goes. No matter how you score, every goal counts.
It's as simple as that. You can even score on yourself, actually, which I think is
hilarious. I would not recommend that.
Not recommend it, but it's always a treat to see, especially, some of those mistakes at the higher end. These are very good players, very practiced in their craft. So let's hope there's no mistakes like that tonight. But as simple as a game Rocket League might seem, there is a very high skill ceiling. We were talking about this before. You're going to see players all over the field and all over the air, too. A very common, kind of top-tier trick that players like to do is what we call an aerial, where they will grab some boost. They'll be around the map. It's what allows them to use their rocket boosters. And they'll go up on a wall, or they'll simply just jump and boost in the air and fly around. You can see this amazing aerial soccer display that can truly be a sight to behold.
Absolutely. And again, there is so much skill involved. It seems so simple when you watch it, but believe me, if you ever, manage to get your hands on the controller and in the game, it is such an incredible and amazing experience. But guys, we are here. We are live. This is game number 1 between Ocean Springs High School and Pearl High School. The Greyhounds versus Team Alpha, and we are underway.
Right off the bat, we see the ball starts in the orange court. It is going to be Ocean Springs that have full possession here.
Yes, and again, just trying to work their way out of the corner and work their way upfield. A nice little passing play there from Blackbeard. He's going to push forward and now try to center that ball in front of the net.
Nice block there.
A pinch clearance will allow Jayo to make a shot attempt. It is denied, however, by Barbosa, and again, we continue.
Both these teams just kind of feeling each other out right now. We've seen the ball all over the court at this point. Great shot towards the goal. There's nobody defending it.
Barbosa just clears it aside, and again, as we've seen, each team is feeling each other out. I love the passing, though, so far from both teams. They're looking for their teammates. They're trying to play off of one another and build that pressure to try and score the opening goal here in game number 1.
Definitely see Ocean High, though. They have had the aggressive tempo early on. Great pop into the air there, kind of clear the ball away from the goal. But the ball has been staying mostly on the orange side of the court right now. Jayosh going up for the aerial, not quite connecting.
And again, Ocean Springs, they're illustrating that defense. They're keeping it locked down. They're not allowing Pearl High School to really break out of their half as, again, this pressure continues to build. It is so difficult as this shot.
There it goes.
Sneaks under the crossbar. When I See Funny opens it up for us here in game number 1. A bouncing shot will find its way under the crossbar and in.
And you can see Pearl High School, they saw the aerial coming. The goalie threw himself up at it, was able to bounce it off the ceiling, but then out of position, wasn't able to get back to the goal because he was stuck in the air for a long time without boost. And then it's just a simple matter of Ocean Springs coming in and cleaning that one up.
And again, Ocean Springs, they're off the kickoff here. They're still, again, suffocating Pearl. As that long shot breaks the defense, Blackbeard finds a quick equalizer. Again, we are on level terms so quickly. The turnaround happens.
Blackbeard strikes back as an actual goalie defending is able to make the beautiful shot off the bank straight into Ocean Springs' goal. And he ties this one up early. That is something I did not expect.
Again, and it's so imperative when you're pressing on offense, you have to make sure that you still have someone able to defend. Those powerful long clearances, when they're put on target, can be extremely dangerous. As again, Funny here, looking to dribble it out of his own corner.
Thought it might happen again there. Ocean Springs centering that one. We'll see who picks that up. It is going to be Pearl High School, and they're scoring!
Right off the ceiling. Again, this is a difficult read for the defender. It's Blackbeard again. Just pushes that touch straight into the ceiling, and it drops right back down. It is not an easy read to make. It will allow Pearl High School to take the lead here.
And those bounce shots, as you said, are so hard to keep track of. You got to know, is it going to bounce early enough where it'll stay in the goal? That time, Blackbeard had the read. 2 goals now already on the board for Pearl High School. We're not even, we're halfway through the game.
And again, we'll have to see if they can hold on to this lead. We have seen Ocean Springs' ability.
What a save there by Jayosh. That is why they've learned their mistake. They sent a defender back there, and Ocean Springs at least able to keep that one from going through.
And again, we've seen from Ocean Springs that demolition comes through with Funny there. They've done such a good job of maintaining that pressure on offense. They're not really allowing Pearl High School to escape and really press the attack that often. Pearl has really hit them on the counter twice. I think being down a goal for Ocean Springs is not the worst situation. Again, the pressure will build and build and build, and eventually it will break.
But can Ocean Springs actually keep up that tempo? They very narrowly save that, but the defense goal again. Both these teams taking the long shots.
Yeah, 7:02 here, just jumping out of his own net. Again, one of the players from Pearl just trying to keep that ball and that pressure in front of the net. He was having absolutely none of that, just absolutely boomed that ball downfield straight into the back of the net. 90 seconds to go. again on level terms.
Tied up, and we saw early on Ocean Springs, they had that great tempo. Since those 2 counter goals, though, they have really tempered their aggression. We've seen the ball spend a lot more time in the blue half of the court, and I think that they've realized that, hey, if we just send all of our members forward, yes, maybe we think we're an aggressive team, but we have to give respect over our opponents. Pearl High School are still good players. We can't be as disrespectful as we normally are.
And again, that's sort of, the tendency of any game 1 in a series, right? You have to feel out the opposition. You have to get an idea of what they're capable of and the best strategy to try and win the game. We've seen it from Pearl where they're comfortable sitting back and just punishing on the counter. When you can find those passes together and the outlets to make those transition plays work, they are deadly effective. And again, watch right here as this play continues on.
And it goes in. Davy Jones that time. Ocean Springs tried to save the goal, as you can see, but again, just didn't have the read on it. Actually hit it into his own goal.
Yeah, Davy Jones, again, just illustrating the point there of how deadly you can be on the counter attack. When you do get those open shots, you have to put them on frame. And again, 20 seconds. A shot here. Oh, it's saved off the line by Davy Jones. That should have been an equalizer, but it's a great save. A clearance now from Blackbeard, and Pearl has to hold on for 10 more seconds.
Massive play there by Davy Jones, not only getting that last goal to put him in the lead, but saving it again. 3 more seconds. The ball has to touch the ground once it hits 0, and that is going to be it. Team Alpha, your first game winners for this best-of-7 series.
And what an incredible performance from them as well. Early on, it seemed to be going the Greyhounds' way. They had all of the momentum, they had all of the pressure, but they could not capitalize.
And I want to talk a little bit about that pressure, because really early on to that match, we saw Ocean Springs, they had it all. The ball almost never left the orange side of the court, but after those couple of counterattacks where they were able to get those long shots and Ocean Springs didn't have any defenders, you saw them always have at least 1 member in the back line. That really cut down their ability to attack the ball. They looked uncomfortable.
Yes, and the element that you're speaking to is rotations, but we'll have to see if they can sort it out as we are going to jump right in to game number 2 here.
And we're going to start it off with a goal. 702, putting a point on the board for Ocean Springs.
Yeah, and it's such a nice pass, too. The beautiful assist off the backboard there allows 702 to just jump right up and score that. Again, we have seen these strong starts for Ocean Springs. Can they continue to hold on?
It's going to be the question now. So able to get an early possession, sent back into the air by Pearl High School, and Brad was able to save that one from going in this time.
And that was a really nice play developing from Pearl there as well. Again, you saw they had an attacker just lurking right in front of the net, trying to redirect that ball in, as this ball dropping from the corner will be turned in by Brad.
Brad from defense to offense saves the ball and then makes a shot as well, putting Ocean Springs up to an early 2-0 lead.
And again, just what we were saying earlier about the last game, we saw that Ocean Springs had this pressure but couldn't convert on their chances. Now they're starting to convert on these chances. And if you're Pearl, you got to score quick again, because they've had all the momentum in the favor of Ocean Springs.
Davy Jones with a nice dribble past multiple defenders, was knocked out by 702, who's now going to take it up. Blackbeard really trying to keep this on the blue side of the map right now. But it is going to be Ocean Springs taking it on the offensive. Ball is going up in the air right now, just juggling around between the players. Neither team making much of a headway. We haven't seen any coherent shots quite yet out of this play. Multiple members driving around the ball. That was a bit of a bumble. I think they all expected the ball to be hit, and when it wasn't, they all kind of missed there.
It's one of the most difficult things in Rocket League, again, especially as the pace of play increases. You have to anticipate opponents making certain touches in certain spots, and if they don't, it can really throw off an entire team's momentum, as this pass will come careening off the backboard. No follow through. That one's high, turned aside by Brad. Oh, but Jay couldn't quite get the touch there. That could have been another goal for Ocean Springs. It allows Pearl to reset, though, in their own half.
Yeah, 2 great looks there by Pearl High School. Almost able to get it in, but 2 shots too high. But now they do have it back into that side, and Barbosa is going to get one on the board here for Pearl High School. The great shot right into the back of the net.
And yes, the leading goal scorer for Pearl so far in this series has been Barbosa. He's managed to find those spots where he can get in front of the net and drive that ball through. They're making it close. We still have 3 minutes, still plenty of time. So much more action to be had here in game number 2.
And we've seen Ocean Springs really struggling on this defense. They seem like a team that feel most comfortable when the ball is on the opposite side of the court. You see it once again. We had members of their team just lost inside of the goal. It feels like this is not their home. This is not their comfort zone.
But again, you have to give credit to Davy Jones on that shot, though.
100%.
He came around on the opposite side of the ball. His momentum's going the other way, so he has to turn back in and fire through into that top corner. That is a tough save. And again, a really well-placed shot from Pearl High School and a deserved equalizer there.
Ball shot off to the side, going up on the wall. It is going to be Brad taking control of that one. Knocked away by Pearl High. And what looked like a good look is going to be saved. Brad is going to take a demolition onto Davy Jones.
You know, what I've really liked from Pearl in this game is that they're utilizing the backboard in those corners to try and generate that offense.
Was that a score? That
Yes,
was a
it
score.
was.
There was no explosion. I was very confused about that one.
Yeah, Jay just, again, pushing up. It's actually really great communication, too. Brad was there, but he didn't really have a good touch. He waited for his teammate to come through and fire that one home. Ocean Springs,
They're coming alive.
Oh, absolutely. As right off the kickoff here, another attempt for Pearl. This one, again, dribbled into the corner and turned aside now.
So we've seen Ocean Springs, they've had issues on defense already into game 2. It's become a theme. However, they seem like they're warming up, especially on offense. Demolition, though, could spell trouble.
Oh, and the return demolition as well. It stops the counterattack as that touch goes into his own net. Oh no, Pearl, you cannot give them goals for free. This one, again, turned inside by Barbosa, I believe, and that is criminal.
Yeah, and you can see Blackbeard had just respawned after that demolition, but the angle that it was coming at, he could not get to the ball in time to defend. So it was just a matter of, at that moment, Ocean Springs had more players on the field. Right now, though, Pearl High School, they've taken it into the opposing side. A good look on the goal. There it is. Blackbeard striking back once again. The hero so far of Pearl High School, taking them to within 1 goal.
Absolutely, and this is such a nice touch here. Look at that little flick from the tail end of his car. Double jumps right through into that close top corner. I love that little display of technical skill there. They're going to need more of it, though. 90 seconds to find another goal.
Ball shot off all sorts of sideways there as Jason goes up on the wall to try to get it out of the blue zone. It's kept in there by Pearl High School. A lot of missed touches here.
And again, Ocean Springs, they have to be very careful. Pearl has found themselves in good spots. All it takes is one missed touch, and we could be headed to overtime in that case. So, again, Ocean Springs, they really got to lock this down here with just over a minute.
And we've seen Pearl be, all right on defense as long as they have members back near the goal. When they have their whole team here, it seems very tough to crack. It's when they're missing members, when the ball is shot from the blue side of the map, or when these demolitions come through, that Pearl High School's defense starts to fall apart.
As again, Davy Jones putting one off the backboard there. That's not an easy read for anyone. As that ball, again, just sort of lurking towards the middle, allowed Davy Jones to get a second touch. That shot a little bit wide, though, turned aside by Brad. And we continue on. 30 seconds. Pearl really has to apply pressure. They do have the ball in the opposing corner, but they have to do something with it.
All just chasing around right now. They really need to get some people across the field to start setting up some of these passes. Right now, in the corner, Blackbeard's going to clear it straight towards the blue side of the field, but Jason going to keep it on the aggressives. Completely wide open there, but nobody set up to actually take it. 3 seconds left. Just needs to hit the ground for Ocean Springs to take a 2-0 lead.
Again, as long as this ball stays airborne, the game is live.
There
That
it
will end
is. And it is going to be the Ocean Springs Greyhounds catapulting themselves now to a 2-0 lead in this best of 7.
Yeah, and again, what I really liked from them at the end of the game there was that they didn't overextend. They knew the situation. They knew that they were a goal ahead. They just had to get the ball on the floor. They didn't try to push up for another goal. They didn't get greedy. They're going to take this victory as is.
Yeah, we can see them really adapting to playing against Pearl High School, respecting that, hey, this may be a higher caliber team that we've played against during our regular season, even in the playoffs to get to this point. So let's drop back a little bit. We know we're not, or they don't seem like they're the best on defense, or they seem a little bit uncomfortable when they have to play defensively. But when they get control of the ball, my word, this team has just been dominant. I mean, they came off to 2 early goals within the first minute there.
Absolutely. And again, I think part of that is nerves too. You know, this is a very high pressure situation, and you have to make sure that you are playing your absolute best. As we get it started right away again, we are jumping into game number 3 here between Ocean Springs and Pearl High School.
So if you are Pearl High School, you're down 0-2. What are you trying to do this game to really start to push back?
I think if you're Pearl, the one thing you have to focus on is you have to be able to push forward to try and punish the mistakes from Ocean Springs when they come out. Again, as you've mentioned, they haven't been perfect on defense, but we haven't really seen Pearl capitalize on too many of those mistakes. I think if you're Pearl, you have to play a bit more aggressive. And again, you're seeing it here now in the opening minute of this game where they're just trying to force the mistakes. If they can get some to go their way, they absolutely have a shot in this series.
Oh, but the ball is going to just roll in there. Brad is going to pick up credit for that score off of a very long and slow shot off the wall. Just rolls on in.
Yeah, and I feel for Davy Jones there. You know, he's positioned in the corner. I think he had a read that his teammate was going to clear it. The touch just doesn't come through. And again, Ocean Springs, they will 100% take that goal anytime, as off the kickoff here, another shot turned on frame, but turned aside. Again, Davy Jones looking for a counter of his own, but he will not be able to find an additional touch.
And I like what you said earlier, that Pearl High School really need to turn up the aggression. We've seen a very aggressive game from both of these, and the team that is succeeding is the team that has control of the ball. Pearl High School, they've looked good on defense when they have all their members there, but that's not going to win them the game, just playing pure defense. Like, yes, that's where a lot of their goals is coming from, but if Pearl High School can get Ocean Springs out of position, get the ball on their side of the map, force them to be reactive, I agree, that's how they look to fight back.
And part of that is midfield possession as well. You know, you have to, in Rocket League, really assert your control when you're on offense by rotating possession through the midfield. You know, I think Ocean Springs has done a better job of that, where they're denying Pearl the ability to go for free touches like this one. That touch had to be turned aside. Again, dangerous on the backboard there. And it will certainly give Pearl another chance at this goal here.
Yeah, good look, but nobody there to follow up. Right now the ball is back on Ocean Springs' side of the court. But, you know, for anybody watching this that isn't too familiar, remember, this is very similar to soccer. You want to try to set up these passes across the field where you are able to get small man advantages over your opponent. And right there, that one's going to go in when I see Funny is going to put the second one up for Ocean Springs.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm talking about with midfield pressure. Notice how he's waiting by that midfield line and just waits for the touch to come to him. It is such a key element to this game to be able to capitalize on that by jumping in from the midfield, found a wide open net. That is an easy 2-0 lead for Ocean Springs.
And also, while we're just starting off this possession, I want to make sure we're keeping up with those that may not be too familiar with Rocket League. You see these glowing orbs and these glowing circles on the ground all across the map. This is what allows players to pick up boost. You only have a certain amount of gas, we'll say, to use in your boosters. When you walk over one of these glowing circles, you get a little bit more. One of the floating orbs fully recharges it as 702 charges another ball into Pearl High School's goal.
And this is a phenomenal pass from Brad. He saw the touch coming and just pushes it lightly off the backboard there. Again, 702 recognizing the pass and the scoring opportunity, using that boost to get up in the air and score it. And again, to your point about boost as well, it allows players to pick up immense amounts of speed and control their ball in the air. It is so pivotal, but you have to manage it.
702, another score. This man is on fire right now. It just seems the longer we go in this series, the hotter Ocean Springs starts. We are now a minute and a half left, a 4-0 lead for the team.
And a little bit fortunate for Ocean Springs there too. You know, that ball careening off of a defender, off the wall, into the net. It's a bit fortunate, but again, you take every goal, right? There's
Absolutely.
no bad goals.
Unless you score them on yourself. That's a bad
Correct.
goal.
That is a bad goal.
But luckily, we haven't seen that happen this time around. Ball is going to be centered down the field. Can it be stopped?
Oh, and it's a beautiful
Wow.
redirect from Brad.
Wow.
Oh, I absolutely love this. Again,
Let's watch this.
that pass play up, he's in a good spot, jumps up, redirects it goal side. Absolutely no chance for the defender. Great display of concentration and skill from Brad. Ocean Springs, they're styling right now.
Yeah, great display of teamwork as well. Brad went downfield when the ball was on his side of the map. We've seen that they've had trouble defending. He said, you know what? I trust my teammates. I'm going to go get ready for the shot. It came to him, and he shot it.
Yeah, and a lot of that is trust in your teammates as well. You know, you have to have confidence in your other two teammates to be able to push up the field like that and make those sorts of plays. But when it's working, it's rolling for Ocean Springs. Not right there, though, as Blackbeard will put Pearl on the board in this game.
Finally able to get himself a touch. Is able to set it up for himself off of the wall. Passes it up into the air. Repositions himself. Powers it through. Finally, Pearl Harbor get themselves on the board. 51 seconds. Will they have the time to even force out overtime?
It'll be very difficult, again, to get 4 goals in such a relatively short amount of time. You have to have so many things to go your way, and you have to score quickly. As, again, Brad looking to set up a double touch there off the backboard, won't quite find it. It will allow Davey to move forward with it. Again, Pearl not making the best of their chances as this one awkwardly sits around. I think what we've seen, audio, is that Ocean Springs is probably going to take this game down.
Yeah, most likely, if you are Pearl High School, you are looking towards the reverse sweep starting next game. 14 seconds left, just not enough time. You've seen Ocean Springs shift now. They're not even going for goals. They're just trying to keep the ball away from their enemies, just knocking into any old corner and wall, bouncing it up into the air.
Oh, that was actually a really nice save from Blackbeard there as, again, we conclude this game number 3. And again, this is a standout performance from Ocean Springs, I would say, in this game. They really illustrated what they're about here. They showed their technical prowess. They showed their ability to pressure the ball on offense, and they got the goals to show for
And
it.
they just kept getting better, right? We looked at the first game. They came off to an early lead. We thought, hey, this is a really strong team. This is kind of what we expected. But then some mistakes in the defensive area, and Pearl High School was able to fight back. Second game, they scored twice early. Even better start. Same thing. We saw a couple of those mistakes. Third game, they get off to a 4-0 lead right away. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in Game 4 here. This is game point for Ocean Springs. They win this one. They take it all. Pearl High School, your reverse sweep has to start right now.
Yeah, and again, Pearl has to put so much pressure in this game. You know, we've seen some great series in Rocket League, but you have to have the faith and the confidence that you can do it. And I think what will help them here is if they can get on the board first, they need to work with a lead to start this game.
Absolutely. And first step is going to be putting it onto the opposing side.
And again, you know, as we work through this Game 4 here with Ocean State 2 games to Pearl's 1, you know, I think Pearl have to really capitalize on this chance right here as Blackbeard gets exactly what they need. They find the opener here in game number 4.
Getting off to a good start, and I do apologize. You correct me, and it's a 2-1 score right now. Ocean Springs is not a game point. We'll have at least one more game after this. More Rocket League is good for everybody involved, the players and the audience. And right now, Pearl High School looking to even it up with this great 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and again, it's so imperative they jump out to the start, but they got to be careful. They got to make sure that they can iron out mistakes like that. Fortunately, it is a really good clear here from Davey. You know, he had a chance there to actually really do some damage, but, you know, I don't think he necessarily had the boost to finish that play off as
Oh, great save there by Josh, being at the right place at the right time. And that one all came down to funny. You talked about Pearl High School's great drive down the stretch, but he was able to contest him step of the way and really delay it enough for Josh to get back in the goal to make that defending play. Right now, though, the ball has been in Ocean Springs court. This is where they make mistakes. This is where Pearl High really want to attack.
Oh, 100%. And again, I love that they've come out aggressive in this game. They're down in the series. They can't go down in this game as well. It's still a long way to go, though. There's still so much time left on the clock, and we've seen how dangerous Ocean Springs can be. Again, they just have to focus on playing solid, playing to your fundamentals, and not making mistakes. As that one has to be turned aside. That was a threatening chance there for Ocean Springs.
That was very scary. Wide open shot at the goal, and here it's going to be, once again, Josh from the back line. This man, the king of the defending shots. I think that's his third or fourth one. He shot from behind the half-point line.
Yeah, and he does a really good job of anticipating where that ball is going to be in the midfield. Again, as we said, the midfield presence is so important. You know, you have to really position yourself well. And he stopped a counterattack and scored on his own.
Oh, no!
As right off the kickoff, When I See Funny will immediately make it 2-1 to Ocean Spring.
And that was just a straight mistake there by Pearl High School. They had two defenders ready and waiting for that ball. Both of them were unable to actually connect and stop it, and that's going to give an easy goal over to Ocean Springs.
Absolutely. And again, they have to reset and remain focused. It can be so challenging, you know, when you feel like things just aren't going your way. But this is really when you have to dig deep and trust your instincts.
What a look off the top. Brad upside down. You can see him just hanging around in the air here, sees it coming. The flip, the redirects right into the goal. He has had some very highlight reel worthy plays this series.
Yeah, someone's been working on the redirects in training. You can definitely see it paying off there. You know, Brad's done a really good job of finding those angles and finding the back of the net. Again, it's so difficult as a defender when a player takes a unique off angle like that to score, because it can be very difficult to adjust to it.
Yeah, how are you supposed to know that that is going to be coming?
Right?
You know, that looks like it's coming straight down to the midfield, but Brad able to just redirect it at a moment's notice. Right now, though, 3-1 in favor of Ocean Springs. They are defending, and Blackbeard's going to put it a little bit closer.
Absolutely, and again, just punishing the mistake here on defense. Funny, trying to take this out of his own half, but doesn't really get a great touch across. It just leaves that ball right in front of the net, and you can't miss those, right, when you see them.
And that's what they're looking for. They're trying to attack inside these close quarter areas around the goals, where Ocean Springs, they start to struggle on, you know, who is really going to be the main defender, who's calling the shots. They all just want to attack all the time. As a nice save there from When I See Funny is going to prevent that from tying up the score.
Yeah, and almost a really great counterattacking play from Ocean Springs there as well. They're really doing a good job of finding each other, but this is dangerous. When I See Funny has to make a really great touch there to turn that aside and reset their defense.
That he does. Ball being driven down here by Ocean Springs. Popped into the corner. Now a counter drive. Great demolition there by Davy Jones. Going to give them a slight numbers advantage for a couple seconds.
Yeah, and the key thing with demos as well is that it relieves so much of that pressure, right? Because you're forcing a player who's pushed up on offense to go all the way back to their end on defense. It allows you to escape at times and get out of a dangerous situation.
Great look there by Davy Jones. Had two shots in the goal, but some awesome defense from Ocean Springs is going to keep it safe, keep their lead intact. Last couple minutes, we've seen a bit of a stalemate. These teams are struggling to find these completions. There's been a heavy, reliance on defense, but there it is. Blackbeard finally finds the angle he's looking for, and he's going to tie it up 3-3.
Yes, and what has been so critical for Pearl is they are just pouncing on these chances when the ball is coming back across the net. I think if you're Ocean Springs, the adjustment you have to make here is you have to be able to take the ball out of your own corner but away from your net. As off the kickoff, Davy Jones will allow Pearl to take a quick lead. Just like that, they jump ahead.
And Pearl High School are making such a run here in the back half of this game. They started off 2-0, now pushed back to a 4-3 lead. Two very quick goals in succession. Is now bouncing off the walls. They have a good look down the middle, but they're going to drop back on defense.
And again, that's a great illustration of how Rocket League can be such a fluid and dynamic game. Your fortunes can change so quickly. All it takes is one goal and a kickoff, and you can almost have another one there for Pearl. Again, they're doing a really good job now of maintaining that offense. As this one will get turned in by Blackbeard, a great passing play in front of the net. Pearl High School making sure that they will not lose this game.
You can see Davy Jones. He takes it off to the side, is able to flip down, flatten that ball to the ground, and put it in a perfect spot for Blackbeard to drive it home. Now with a 2-point lead, just 15 seconds in, you've got to just assume that Pearl High School is going to even up the match score.
And that was a really close attempt. I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't want to cut you off, but that was a really, really nice attempt from Ocean Springs. But an even better save there will allow this game to end in favor of Pearl High School.
Eventually. Remember, the ball has to touch the ground after the clock hits 0. Even if they were to somehow score that goal, Pearl High School would still take game number 4. Remember, this is going to be a best of 7. Score now tied at 2-2.
Yes, they have made it an even series, and wow, what a turnaround from Pearl there in that game.
Absolutely.
They looked down early, you know, they really but found the resolve and the strength of character to continue to press onward and continue to look for those opportunities. You know, Ocean Spring had some of those defensive touches that weren't great. They were able to pounce and score.
And we saw some really great coordination from Pearl High School in this game specifically. They were able to put a man in the middle of the field and then just constantly set up these plays on the sides, in the corner, pass it to the middle, score a goal. Pass it to the middle, score a goal over and over. Let's see if they can replicate this in game number 5.
Yeah, and again, the winner of this game is really going to be in a great position to take the series. So this is, again, they're all important games, but this one in particular is very crucial because
So it's important for morale. I mean, you want to be the one that's one game away from winning.
absolutely, as again, Pearl here on the attack, not able to find a touch though, and it will allow Ocean Springs to find a booming clearance downfield.
Ball's being popped up right now. Davy Jones stuck in the air, but it's going to be Barbosa coming to the rescue and clearing that one away.
Yeah, and again, early in this game, it's been a lot of long clearances and big touches, right? I don't think either team is too keen to have the ball sitting in front of their net. They're just trying to get it away. I think they can both see that
this can be
is where the
scary.
mistakes are as that ball
2
works.
misses. That was very dangerous for the side of Pearl High School. That ball sat in front of the goal for a long time, but now on the long touch, saved there by 702.
Yeah, I think 702 saw that one coming the whole way. Again, this has been a game so far of big touches. He was sitting on the backboard ready for that and able to turn it aside. Again, we can't say it enough how dangerous it is when that ball is just sitting in front of the net. You know,
Even when
both
this
teams,
ball is just sitting in the air, we've seen a lot of aerial passes in these long. Lee, let's look at some more on how that was set up.
Yeah, he gets a really nice touch there off the defender. You know, he's driving, you know, in the opponent's corner and just puts that ball straight across, gets it by both defenders, wide open.
And gotta say, mad props to Blackbeard there. He was able to dribble it around the corner past 2 defenders. Very good setup. Definitely deserves a round of applause for that assist. And now pressure is on Ocean Springs. 2 minutes left. You have to get on the board.
Yeah, and again, oh, that was nearly a great shot there from 7-2. He almost found a ridiculous angle. It's difficult to score right when you're on the sides of the goal like that. Passing's almost...
No, just bounces in and going to end up being a long shot here from Blackbeard, his own end of the field.
I love this play from Blackbeard, though. Look, he just targets the last
Wow.
man, drives straight into him, gives him absolutely no chance at touching that ball. Great play from him. Great foresight to jump ahead of the ball and make that play.
And you can see, because he was alone back there, he had access to all of that boost that he saved up, powered through under the ball, and made sure he got in the way to the defenders. Like you said, running that interference. Beautiful play there by Pearl High School. And now at a 2-0 lead, they are looking confident to go to game point.
You know, it's interesting. One of the things that we haven't really seen in this series that has been meta in Rocket League lately has been those bumps and demos on opposing players because it can be so.
Ooh, ball popped up in the air. Remember, we just saw a great save on the other side of the field. This time it's Davy Jones going to be returning the favor.
Looked like he was about to score right there. Sorry, but what I was saying is, you know, these bumps and the demos, they're so disruptive to the opposing team because it takes a player off the field for at least a second or two, and it resets their positioning and boost. So, again, it can be so disruptive. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of it, but now that we've seen it work, again, we may see more of it in this series.
Perhaps we will. Right now, these players see their demolition, just focusing on the ball itself. A great pass to the middle of the field, but nobody quite there to take the shot.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get to. You know, that ball going in front of the opposing net like that. You don't want to overextend. Pearl know the situation. They're up 2 goals. They don't want to fire too many shots, but Barbosa will say, I will take the ones that are open. Thank you very much.
And you can see Blackbeard just coming in from the defense, knocking that one away, sending it back to the center of the field where Barbosa was waiting. And this has become the game plan for Pearl High School, is they have one person stay to the sidelines and try to send these balls to the middle as much as they can. And then they set an attacker in the middle once again as Davy Jones takes that one all the way to the back.
Yeah, this is a great secondary touch from Davey as well. Look at him get another one as he's in the air, following it up, making sure that it goes in. Pearl High School have really dominated this game, truly, and they will be the deserving victors, I think, of game number 5.
So, 30 seconds left, 4 goals down. It's safe to say that Ocean Springs is probably out of this game, even if they made a miracle run, which could still happen in the next 21 seconds as they get close to scoring a goal there. It's saved by Davy Jones. What are you looking for them to do in game number 6 to prevent the victory going over to Pearl High School?
I think I want to see them get back more to what was working for them earlier on in the series. We didn't really see that offensive pressure from them in this game. They spent a lot of time in their own half trying to work the ball out of their own corner and out of their own goal line. I think if Ocean Springs, again, they're going to have to take the next 2 if they want to do it. They have to get back to that style of being, you know, disruptive up front, having the possession, having the touches on the offensive side. They need to get up there.
They seem like they've lost their confidence almost. I want to say, because we look at the Ocean Springs that we saw in the first 3 games even, they were aggressive early. Within the first minute, they were getting multiple goals up over their opponent, and it was always in the opponent's end of the field. You know, Pearl High School was never given a chance to set up those midfield passes because they were always all defending. So I think I agree. Get back to what was winning for you. Ocean Springs, they have to shake off those nerves, get on the attack, put some pressure on Pearl High School.
But again, it is now match point for Pearl High School. They're up 3 games to 2 here, so they just need to take one of the next couple of games. We will see if they can do it as Blackbeard working that ball into the corner but won't be able to touch it up. You know, I think Ocean Springs, they have to be careful in this spot here. That is a dangerous ball and a really good save from Jay.
Jay Osh saving that one from going over to an early lead. This has got to also be a mental match of Ocean Springs. They've got to be feeling the pressure that they cannot make any more mistakes. See, wow, what a save there by Blackbeard. Comes in just under it, bumps it up so it hits the top of the goal.
Yeah, that is an audacious attempt at a save there, isn't it? Because you're going the wrong way and you have to touch it high.
It's easy to hit that in.
It would be very easy to knock that into your own net, but he does a really good job of turning it high and away from the attacker. Again, very technically well-executed play there.
And we see here, Jason has spent a lot of time in the goal. We talked about how we wanted Ocean Springs to really get on the offense. You can see there, he does make a drive, but they've always been keeping, even when they're attacking, one person left behind just in case.
Yeah, and again, I think they have to work on their transition game a little bit here. We haven't really seen the effective touches from Ocean Springs to really get close to the net, right? Obviously, it's easier to score when you're close to the net, sort of like this.
Popped up into the air, 7-0. 2 is able to keep that one down. Send it back over to Pearl High School side of the map. A nice aerial look right across. Knocked away there, though, by, I believe that was Blackbeard.
Yeah, and Brad had a really good chance, but as I say it, Davy Jones just takes it coast to coast, one end of the field to the other.
And you can see the little bounce off of Blackbeard there. Just hits that little hop pops up in the air, makes sure that the direction is unpredictable, and Ocean Springs just couldn't know exactly where that one was going. And once again, Pearl High School looking good in the early stages.
Yeah, and I'll definitely say for that goal there, that touch in the midfield is so crucial, right? Because it throws off the speed and direction of the ball. Ocean Springs really didn't have an answer for it, and they're going to have to come up with something quick here. Again, it seems that Pearl has...
Scary, though. The miss there is going to allow 702 to score. I thought that Pearl High School had that one, but just underestimated. You can see Barbosa comes under it, but just mistiming the jump forward. He's not able to knock that one away.
Yeah, you have to shake that one off, though. You know, the defender probably should have gotten to that one, but you have to, again, just take a deep breath and focus. It's still a tie game. There's still plenty of game time left. Reset and do it again, right?
You can see Brad here continually just badgering this ball into the corner. 702 doing his best to keep it on the enemy's side. This is what we'd like to see from Ocean Springs. They are getting aggressive here. Brad and 702 teaming up to put pressure on Pearl High School.
That was a great save there from Blackbeard. Again, another great save coming out. This is in such a dangerous spot, but Barbosa, again, seeing that he's a little bit of time, able to slow it down, turn aside. You know, I think that is a great illustration there of the adjustment that Ocean Spring has made in this series. I think at the beginning, that ball would have been turned towards the net again because they had all three players moving up. Now you can see it's a bit more cautious. They're not sending everyone all the time.
That they are not. Here comes the rotation. They're going to back off and let that one come to their side of the field. But they have been a little bit more aggressive here in this potentially final game as they look for another touch. 702 going to bounce that one backwards, and we've seen the ball spend a lot of time on Pearl High School side of the map.
Oh, and that ball will drop right back down.
Right,
Blackbeard, again, finds himself in a good spot. The assist from Davy Jones. He's got almost the entire net to shoot at.
And the difference that I'm seeing between these two teams is when you look at Ocean Springs, they're very good at just attacking a lot. They don't really have any well-coordinated attack, but they're just a constant rapid fire of shots at your goal. Whereas Pearl High School, they get the ball onto your side and they score. It's well executed, it's thought out, it's planned. Every shot that they take, they put 110% into it, even if they don't take a lot of it.
Absolutely, but again, we have 60 seconds here. The situation is, as it stands, Pearl High School will be your state champion. Ocean Springs needs to find an answer here very, very quickly. Again, they're going to have to take more risks now as 702 jumps for that one. Well contested, though, by Blackbeard.
Well set up. Not able to find the touch, though. Ocean Springs. Jason does center it up in the air. They don't have anybody there. Almost from 702, but it's knocked away just off the edge of the goal. Now dribbled down, popped over, and Davy Jones put what could be the final nail in the coffin of Ocean Springs. What a goal!
Oh, this is absolutely killer. Again, Ocean Springs, they had a great chance, but that ball bounces off the post, and right away, coast to coast, Davy Jones, just the icing on the cake. Solo play the whole way, dribbles it straight down. And man, now it's a mountain to climb.
And what a potential final goal to have. Dribbling that one down, just a little pop over the defender to add some flair. If this game ends with that as the last goal, I'm sure Davy Jones will be saving that one to his highlight reel for sure.
As again, Ocean Springs,
this has to be a goal right here. I don't think it's going to happen.
It does not look like it. And congratulations to Pearl High School. They are your MHSAA state champions. What a performance by them.
What a performance indeed, and they started off so rocky. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about this team is coming up against this competition, the stiffest competition they've gone against so far. Ocean Springs is not somebody they faced in the regular season. They were on opposite sides of the bracket because this is their first time getting to actually play their opponents. I'm sure they did some scouting. I'm sure they prepared, but when you fall down early to a team like that who you've never played before, it can be demoralizing. In this, final game, I'm just glad they were able to bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're going to bring up the final bracket here. So again, congratulations to Pearl High School. They have made their run through this bracket and they have come out on top. You know, and I have to say, to your point too, I think in that last game, what we really saw from Pearl was their tenacity, right? They had a defensive mistake that allowed Ocean Springs to equalize in that game. They didn't let it get to them, though. They kept on pushing, they kept on scoring, and they ended up coming out ahead. And again, it's one game, but it was sort of a microcosm of the whole series.
Once again, we've already said it, but congratulations to Pearl High School Team Alpha for winning the MHSAA championships. A word from the MHSAA Executive Director, Don Hinton. He had to say that esports is in its second year of being officially recognized by the Mississippi High School Activities Associations. They're very excited for the opportunities this is going to provide students in their member schools to be a part of school-based activities. Remember, this is now a sport in a lot of states. High schools are really recognizing this. They're giving some resources to these young players that want to compete but may not be interested in the more athletic sports like basketball, football, that kind of stuff. But they've been able to find their group, their niche in esports.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish it had been available when I was in high school, right?
I mean, I'm not that far out of high school. I'm 20 years old. Let my age slip on stream. But just even 2 years ago, this was unheard of. At least from where I'm from. If this had been around, I would have been all over it.
Absolutely. And again, I think the great thing about Rocket League in particular for this section is that it's fully cross-platform. So it doesn't matter if you have an Xbox, if you have a PlayStation, if you're on PC.
So easy to get started.
Anybody can team together with any device and any console. So again, it's a wonderful way to bring students together within their own school.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to everybody for tuning in. We are going to have some League of Legends coming up next. We will have more Rocket League returning tomorrow, so make sure to follow the stream. Stay tuned. There is so much more esports to come throughout the next coming days. We're going to go into a short break as we get our next game set up. Don't go anywhere.
One of the greatest things is getting an email about how excited a parent is that their student is involved and is having a great time and wants to talk about their esports experience. I've always been a gamer. I usually wanted to play the single-player role-playing games and the WoW and StarCraft. I didn't really know a lot about esports. I didn't realize the extent of how large it was. Our athletic director walked into my office. He's like, just watch this video. It was a promo reel that said, esports is coming or something, games to be announced, and it was this hype video. And I was like, we have to do this. He's like, I don't have a coach. I was like, oh. When do we start? How do we do this? I would say that I'm actually stepping into the students' field. This was especially the case in season 0 and 1 with the seniors who had been playing for years. I was there to coach in the sense of be an organizer, be an encourager, be there to try and instill the elements of sportsmanship and athletic conduct. But I know and recognize that some of these players know more about these sports than I do. And I can let them be teachers as well to the new kids. And so having that relationship, that partnership with those students has been really important. It's been really exciting to be on the beginning of this program to say, let's see what happens and see where it goes and learn along the way and have an outlet for students who have many, many different interests, but maybe this one aspect of what they love doing hasn't really been given an outlet yet. And to say, we know you love all these other sports, but you're also really talented at this, or you want to be talented at this, and you can. And there's an avenue for that. The reception from parents has been fun in its own right. Parents say esports, like, what is this, video gaming? And the answer is, yeah, it is. That's the entry point. But I'd love for you to come to practice or check out some of these videos and these stats and let me show you the difference that we're trying to create here. When a parent comes and sees a game, specifically like League of Legends, from start to finish and goes, I had no idea that that's the level of intensity and the level of dedication that it takes to play one game and the endurance that it takes to do this and to communicate as a team. Like, I had no idea. Seeing that reception and that flip is really exciting, because then they're all in. It's been interesting to see the elements of other traditional sports, communication skills, sportsmanship, conduct, planning, strategy, skill, and mental athleticism, all of these things feed into creating an esports program and creating students into athletes. It's just been really fun to watch them progress really, really fast by having that team dynamic to fall upon. One of the greatest things is getting an email and is that their students involved.